Ladies and gentlemen from all over the world, hope you're doing great. Matt Corvo coming at you live from Montreal, Canada. For those who don't know me, I'm 26 years old and I've been trading for 5 years. And for a year now, I've been trading with futures and order flow. And I'm basically every day recording my screen and recording the price action of the session to document my order flow learning journey. So today we are Thursday, December 11th, 2025. And I'm starting to see hope in my trading, to be honest. I'm starting to become optimistic. At the beginning of the week, I had a super bad day. I still need to post that video. I was super down, super depressed, super pissed off, super frustrated. However, as time goes, I'm starting to understand more and more how to trade. I'm in a group called Diamond Trading Institution from Lambo Raul. And I'm learning every day. I'm being perspicacious. I'm paying attention. I'm applying myself, devoting myself. And I'm starting to understand more or less, okay, the setups, those are the trades the guys take. And it's starting to make more and more sense. So honestly, it's not super complicated. You plot your levels on your chart, support and resistance, supply and demand, highs and lows. You plot them, and then you also plot your volume profile, and then you have your levels. Now once price reaches your levels, you jump on the footprint. And basically you want to see trap market participants that get absorbed, and then aggressive market participants that show up. And you're basically looking for either a break and retest or a reversal. And then you use bookmap for targets. For example, we have that many passive orders above us or under us. This is my target. This is where I'm going to take my full TP. Or you can just target a high or a low. Very simple. So honestly, it's not super complicated. It's not rocket science. You spend time doing it, you get your eyes used to it, to the patterns. I mean, every normal person that puts in the fucking work and that has a brain can succeed at trading. If you're ready to put in the work and sacrifice and really commit, I don't believe it is that complicated. I don't know if it was today's price action that was supposedly cleaner, or I don't know how the future will be. This is usually a difficult month, December, very choppy. However, there are always going to be highs and lows in the market. There are always going to be run. And now the question is, will price reverse? Will price do a break and retest there? It can chop. That's tricky. And once that happens, you jump on the footprint and you need to know what you're looking for. You're looking for your setup and you just execute. As you can see behind me is the reason why I am trading. It's my why. I'm not in trading to make 3,000 bucks, 5,000 bucks, 10,000 bucks a month. Not that financial freedom where, for example, oh, I only spend 3K a month and oh, I make 5K, so I'm financially free because I got 2K extra. That's not why I'm doing trading. That's not why I'm doing trading. I'm in trading for prosperity, glory, and abundance. I'm here to build my dream home, and I don't like to say dream because it's at this point it's not a dream at all. It's a fucking goal because I'm at it day in and day out, 24/7. But it's AI pictures that I created of a castle. So my goal is to make a lot of money with trading and to build my dream castle. It's not a joke, it's not bullshit. I'm very precise, I'm very detailed, I'm very specific on how big I want it, where I want it, how I want it to look, how large I want it, how tall I want it, etc. I am very serious attacking my goals. And this castle is gonna cost me a lot of money to build, a lot. So I'm in this business to make minimum 10 million. Once I make 10 million, I'm certain I can make millions of dollars per month, certain. Due to the fact that truthfully, you only need to catch 10 point, 30 point, 50 points move, and you can trade with 100 contracts. You can trade with 100 contracts. I see on the order flow, I see on the footprints, the amount of contracts that get executed on the S&P 500 E-mini futures on footprints. I see it per price level. Thousands of contracts get executed to move the market. Thousands. You can get to a point where your trading account is so large, you're funded by a freaking hedge fund or I don't know what, by an institution or bank, and you're trading a huge account and you're executing 100 contracts or perhaps even 200 contracts. I see those market participants day in and day out. They're there. You could get to that point as a retail trader. You might need to work for a fucking hedge fund from home. I don't know. But I don't care because I know just trading ES and gold, I can catch freaking moves. I can become an expert at trading those instruments, and I know for a freaking fact. I just need to trade that, and the same way you can make hundreds or thousands of dollars, I'm certain you can make hundreds of thousands or millions of dollars. As a matter of fact, the people actually moving the markets, they're not even freaking retail traders. They're banks, institutions. They're the ones moving the market and making millions and millions of dollars each day. So as a retail trader, you need to grind your way slowly up there. But I am certain once you've proved yourself and you know what the fuck you're doing and you're consistent, if you have an edge and a system and a track record, I'm certain big money will throw their fucking money at you, and boom, you're trading a huge account. You need to get your psychology right, trust your system, trust your edge. It needs to be on point. And yeah, boom, you can make millions of dollars trading the freaking London, New York, Asian session with just ES. Bro, if you can trade 10 contracts, I don't see why you cannot trade 100. You can just copy your trades on 10 accounts. Boom, you're trading 100. It's possible. There are people who trade 30, 50. And if you can trade 100, why can't you trade 200? As long as you're not over risking. So the whole point is, I'm not in trading to make a few $1,000 per month. I'm here for freaking abundance. I'm here for a career. I am here for the long term. That's why I'm not quitting, because the dream is so big. And I know for a fact, just trading ES and you're good at it with huge capital, you can make a killing. You can make so much money. So here I am, Thursday, December 11th, 2025. I'll see maybe in 5 years, in 10 years where I will be. But I'm super excited. I don't believe trading has to be that complicated. There are a lot of people who made 10 million plus, but the question is how many made 100 mil? Yeah, that castle is going to cost me 100 mil. 100 mil minimum in construction costs, materials, just everything. So yeah, better be making money, baby. All right, ladies, so let me share that screen for you. All right, so as I said, let's say you're here and this is a resistance level you have. When price reaches it, it can do two things. Number one, a reversal. So basically what's going to happen here, you got buyers pushing up price. You see them on the prints. And then once they reach here, the buyers, they get absorbed. The buyers, they get trapped. And then you have aggressive sellers showing up. And then price goes down. Second option, price completely breaks through your level. The buyers are strong, but then the sellers show up and they try to bring it down. They try to bring it down. So price for a short moment comes back to your level. And then those sellers here, they're not strong enough. They get absorbed and they become trapped. And then the aggressive buyers show up again and price shoots up right after. Now, when it is tricky is when you might have a break and retest and price starts chopping. There's a lot of back and forth, a lot of bar coding. You don't know exactly what's going on, who's in control. Nobody's really getting rewarded on their efforts. It can either go up or go down. What also I've seen happening is the following. Price reaches your level. You think it's doing a reversal, but then it shoots up after. It's not a true break and retest. It comes again here because a buyer is holding that level, defending price here. So let's come into the charts and let's analyze price starting at 930. So starting from 930, I had those levels on the chart. This level here is acting as nice resistance. And look at where price came again here at 1050. This level didn't hold at all. Look at this level here. You have one touch, two touches, three touches. It is more or less a 3-4 point zone. And then you see that level here. Price gave sells from here. And same thing, if you look here, you had a touch here, a touch here, a touch here. Price breaks through, a touch here. And where did price come after? To those levels. And even again, break and retest. So just technical levels are important. Obviously, round numbers. The 900 here, it did give us some choppiness. All right, so I remember that we sold from here. We sold from here. Here we didn't truly have a break and retest because price, this is another one of very rare scenarios. Price just completely breaks through, gives no break and retest, is too fast. But I remember we entered here. That was a break and retest of the 50s low. So basically what happened is that when price reached that low, we jumped on our order flow software. A lot of guys use Deep Charts or Sierra Charts or Ninja Trader. I use ATAS. And you basically jump on the footprints to see the interaction between buyers and sellers once you're at your level. So let's look here at 950 exactly at what happened on the footprints. So if you want to see a break and retest, what you want to see is the buyers showing up at that level and getting trapped, getting absorbed, and then you want to see the aggressive sellers showing up again, defending price, bringing it lower. So let's go to 950. I just want to remove my volume profile to make it cleaner. As you can see, this is a 24 range footprint because it makes everything cleaner with less noise. All right, so as you can see, this whole thing here on my chart just appears as a few candles, much cleaner, much cleaner. All right, so this is the 850s. As you can see here, again, 850s. So this place here is here. Let me just plot a line. So what did I say? You want to see aggressive buyers showing up and getting absorbed. So you see the aggressive sellers, very good. You still want to play your break and retest. There are no reversals and signs. And then you see this, you're thinking, okay, we might have a reversal. We want to see if those buyers here are able to hold price. So basically here at the 51.25 level, you want to see buyers, are they able to hold price above that level? Here you see them. Are they able to hold price? And you see the candle after, it comes lower than that level, and you see that strong delta outlier, those strong sellers showing up. So it tells you that those buyers are now underwater and in trouble. So that was your sign, that was your entry. You enter right here, and what do you target? You can have a 1 to 3 hour target, or me, in this case, I was a little bit ambitious and I targeted this whole move here. Now what happened, a bunch of guys entered here and me, I was in a sell from here. I eventually got taken out of break even, I believe. But this whole level, you see here a lot of resistance, got broken through, turned support. And at the moment, this whole zone here was lining up very closely with the overnight volume profile. If you drag it from 6 p.m. all the way to where price was at 10, it was lining up perfectly with the value area low. Anyway, the point is, me, I was in a sell, but a bunch of guys during the live stream caught that trade. Very simple. Resistance turned support, and here you saw a lot of sellers getting absorbed. So I'll just show it to you on the prints. Here you had a lot of strong selling and you want to see price being maintained below them. So this happens, but now this strong seller shows up here with 500 orders, 500, just blowing away those two. And now you're basically, it's a tug of war. You don't know who's going to push it. You don't know who's going to win. So they managed to push price higher, and then this buyer gets trapped here, and the sellers managed to push it lower, and now the sellers get trapped here. And then the buyers show up, and they're really defending that level. They don't want it to go lower. And then the sellers, they try to push it again. It comes lower. And one last time, the sellers, they really get absorbed here. You see the delta numbers becoming highly positive. It going all the way from minus 586 to 519, which is very similar to the max delta. Same thing here, very positive numbers. That was really your clue to get out of the sell and start buying. That number was truly the nail in the coffin for the sellers, and the buyers really pushed that thing up. And you could have entered here, I guess. Enter on one of those levels, and that thing just took off like a rocket. Yeah, the guys entered somewhere in the 43s here. And what could you have targeted? Either a 1 to 3 target, 1 to 5, or very simply the high here at 74. But where do you put your stop loss? You can put it under the candle or under that level. That is your invalidation point. If price comes lower than that freaking number here, like you wouldn't want to be in that buy again. You wouldn't want to be in that long position anymore. Let me just plot the positions on my chart. Okay. Long position. Put it at 43. So truly that would have been a beautiful trade, 5 or 6 Rs. Now this place here is where we entered on a few buys, I believe, and we got taken out of break even. So first of all, why? Because for two reasons basically. Because here, as you can see, I know it's a little bit messy on my chart, but this is the value area high of our overnight volume profile. And if you look at the previous day volume profile, which is the cash session, for the cash session, you started at 9:30 a.m. all the way to 4 p.m., all the way to here. And now you plot the value area high. And as you can see, we really expected a break and retest, and this is when I say it can get messy, and it's not always that easy, is because it can start chopping. It can start chopping and you can get tricked. It's not super clear who's in control. And if you look here, the buyers were very strong. The buyers were very strong, but they finally lost their grip. Let's have a look at the 76s, 75s. Exactly. Exactly. This is why we entered. Price broke that high. What we wanted to see were trapped sellers, sellers getting trapped, and the buyers showing up again. So this is exactly what you had. Let's have a look here. Very, very interesting to study. Strong buyer holding on. The sellers try to show up, but they have zero follow through. They're not getting rewarded. And then the buyers show up again. This was really your hint to enter on a buy. And then very interesting, you still have price goes a little bit in profit, goes a little bit in profit. But then you're kind of scared here because they're not able to maintain price above that level. Here at the 81s, you have that big trade that just appeared. You have a big seller appearing here. And now you're really, really in trouble when you see those sell orders. The sellers show up massively. You can even see the delta numbers here. They're the same, looking very bad for your long position. And that would have been sadly a break even. So let's put it here, break even. But frankly, you could have seen this whole thing, and basically you want to see is there going to be follow through, and you could have entered on a sell. And you could have sold all the way back to the overnight session volume profile, point of control. And this is basically called, with very fancy words, a mean reversion setup, which is basically price reaches value area high, you sell again back to value, to the point of control. And really seeing this, you could have sold, you put your trigger here. Buyers, they try to exit their positions here one last time, and it sells. This would have been a nice sell perhaps at the 79s. Short position at 79. Put your stop loss. You can put your stop loss here or here at 82. This would be your invalidation point. This is really where the sellers started selling, here at 82. And yeah, you can target POC. So that would have been a nice 3R. Okay, and then you wait. And after, when price reaches another one of your levels or VWAP, you pay attention. What's going on the footprint? What's going on the footprint? You zoom on your footprint. Let's have a look here at 1052. Oh, it's right here. Yeah, there you go. So here is here, okay? If you want to take a reversal here, what you want to see on the footprints are three things. Sellers getting absorbed, sellers getting trapped, and aggressive buyers showing up. So let me know what you see here. You see strong sellers selling, and then you see that You compare those numbers, it goes all the way from minus 648 to 23, not looking good for the sellers, telling you they're getting absorbed. And now you see them here, they're completely stuck towards the bottom, and you see those strong numbers above them. And again, you still want to see price holding below that level, below. And you're totally not seeing it. It shoots up, it shoots up. So this could have been your entry maybe here at the 65s. Maybe it would have been late. Maybe you could have entered somewhere here. I don't know. So let's just put it between the two. You could put your stop loss right here at the 59s or below the low. Doesn't change a thing. What do you target? Your normal 3R. Could have targeted 3R. Could have targeted your 3R or the next support and resistance zone. This one. You do whatever you want at this point. Once you're in profit, it's up to you to manage it however you want. Keep in mind, we came into this high volume node where POC is, and almost always you have a lot of chop, a lot of barcoding. It's messy, a lot of back and forth. So it's a bad place for trend. All right, let's come here. Let's come here. Price rejects again from that level, but there was not really anything. And then it chops, it chops, it chops. Comes again at VWAP. What do you want to see for a reversal? Trap sellers, sellers getting absorbed, and aggressive buyers. So let's come here at 1129. What am I telling you? Know what you're looking for. Know what you're looking for. Here, let's put VWAP. Again, same thing as the VWAP here is here. So here there was a buy opportunity. Okay. Well, but this is what I'm telling you. This is a mess. This is a mess. It's very ugly to look at. Let me zoom in, but yeah, it's very, very ugly. Okay, so price touches your VWAP. You want to see trap sellers, sellers getting absorbed. You just look at those numbers. It's looking good. Looking good for sellers getting absorbed. Those two numbers are the same. It goes all the way from minus 225 to 291. Sellers stuck here. And what I'm realizing is that for you, in order to see a reversal, you absolutely and utterly have to see that. It cannot be the other way around. You cannot have a reversal to the upside and not seeing trapped sellers and aggressive buyers. Otherwise, it's just not going to reverse to the upside. You have to see it. So it's always, a lot of times, going to look very, very, very similar. So you look here, the sellers are here, are trapped. The buyers show up above. Strong number here. Funnily enough, it's the exact number that gets touched here for a small pullback. So those can act as entries. Okay, those are very, very interesting. It's not the first time that I noticed that. So what the hell is that on my chart? What the hell? Okay, and basically you want to see the buyers being able to hold that level. You want to see being able to hold that level. You enter here at 63. Long position, 63, 50. Put your stop loss under. What do you target? You can target this high, or you can even target this high. You do whatever you want. Again, when it comes to target, it's discretionary. You do whatever you want. You can go for 2 hours. 2 hours is good if you have a good win rate. You can go for more. You can take partials. You do whatever you want. This is trade management. And now again, price runs that high. You look for either a break and retest or a reversal. So let's have a look here at, what time was it? At 11:47. And I just want to see if it was lining up with the value area high of my volume profile. Yeah, exactly. Lining up with the value area high. It sweeps the high. Dude, you pay attention. What the hell is going on the footprint? So basically, if you want to see a reversal, what do you want to see? You want to see trap buyers, buyers getting absorbed, and aggressive sellers showing up. The sellers being able to hold their levels. Okay. Wow. Picture perfect. Picture perfect. The buyers are so strong here, you might even almost get tricked into thinking it's going to be a break and retest. They're super strong. They even create an imbalance here. Now you want to see them being able to hold that level. Do you see them holding that level, honestly? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It completely shoots down. Those here are completely trapped. It even does a P shape, indicating that there's a lot of volume to the upside. And if you look at those numbers, super positive. You're expecting a follow through after. You're expecting their efforts to be rewarded. Do you see it looking at the delta numbers here? Absolutely not. The negative numbers are the same. Boom, boom. Okay, this was a clean sell, clean sell. And now what do you target? And I don't know, you can target POC. It's easy to say, me, I would have targeted that low, but price cannot always do the following. Takes the low, takes the high, takes the low, takes the high. Price cannot always do that. Price has to trend in one way or the other. So you look here. Now, sadly, the sellers did not come again here. But yeah, you enter during this candle. So let's say somewhere here in the 81.50. 81.50. Put your stop loss here. Okay, what do you target? You can target POC. So this would have been a quick scalp. I would have held it to VWAP, honestly. VWAP. But this is what I'm saying. When it reaches the POC, it starts chopping, man. It starts chopping like crazy. You look at the footprint, basically, for your target too. The footprint are going to tell you, okay, I'm holding that trade, I'm letting it run, or I'm closing it. Based on what I'm seeing, I'm not liking what I'm seeing. Now, price is coming close to POC, and you see strong buyer, you see a big buyer show up. You're like, I don't like that. I don't like that. Let's look at the second candle. It goes down a lot, but you have a big wick to the downside, indicating a lot of buy pressure. You're like, I don't like it very much. I want to see the sellers being able to hold their levels here. And boom, they're absolutely unable to. Again, they come in here, close the trade, or get hit at break even, and it completely reverses. So here there was not really any reason for me to enter. Didn't touch VWAP. Yes, it touched the POC, but anyways, choppy around that area. And it just didn't take any level, didn't sweep any low. And that, ladies and gentlemen, would have been a crazy, beautiful trade. Would have been an insane trade. What a shame, honestly. Maybe it's that trade, here that you could have hold. But anyway, it just wasn't really clean. But again, it's that same level, I believe. Is it? Not really. It's that same level here. You see it does a break and retest, break, and you see that level here. I don't know if you see that area of consolidation here. You got multiple touches, breaks through, touches, breaks through. It's a level, it's a zone. It's like a 3, 4, 5 point zone. It comes again, it does a break of it, and a retest. It's very easy to say in hindsight, but yeah, those numbers, they look very good. I mean, you saw those numbers, didn't look good for the sellers. All right, guys, so that was a long video. I'm seeing hope in my trading. I'm seeing improvement in my understanding, in my knowledge, in my expertise. One day that's going to be me, man, putting on those fucking orders. 200, 200. You see the amount of volume there is per candle. Don't tell me you cannot trade freaking 100 contracts. Don't tell me that. You can. But as a retail trader with just a retail broker, I'm not sure. That's something I'm going to have to figure out in the future. I mean, the money's here. Today, maybe the price action was clean, but you can make money. You can make money with trading. You can make money. This was 2 hours, 6 hours, so we're at 8, 11, 14, 20, 22. Let's put it at 22. Break even. Okay, realistically, a few of them might have been break even. Let's put it realistically, might have been a 10 to 15 hour day, super clean. You risk 0.5%, that would have been 7%. Okay, it's not realistically, let's put out maybe 3%, I don't know, but if you're good and you know what the fuck you're doing and you know what you're looking for and you got experience, you got skill, bro, you can make money. You can make money. You can have fucking 10 prop firm accounts. I don't care. This is worth persevering. All right, guys, so I'm bouncing here. It was nice talking to you. Cheers.